when you put it in those terms, that a 15% contribution for a young enlisted member could grow to over $2 million in their lifetime, it can be pretty remarkable. And I don't think a lot of people really grasp the power of compounding interest and making small investments consistently over a long period of time, and how much those investments can grow.
Welcome to the Military Money Manual podcast, where every episode is all about achieving financial independence in the military faster than before. We believe personal finance shouldn't be boring or intimidating. Building wealth can be simple, and financial freedom is the ultimate financial goal. Now, here's your hosts, Spencer and Jamie.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of the Military Money Manual podcast. I'm Spencer Reese from militarymoneymanual.com, joined by my co-host, Jamie. Hey, Jamie.
Hey.
Today, we wanted to introduce a course that we've been developing for a couple months now on TSP investing. So it's called the Confident TSP Investing Course. And in this course, Jamie and I wanted to share with you everything that we've learned about investing in our thrift savings plan over the last decade or so.
Yeah, we're really excited that we were able to basically take all the information that's out there and consolidate it for you. You never know whether you can trust someone. Is this a bank that published this blog post and there's some kind of affiliate link behind it when I buy this strategy? But for our listeners, they know we're not here to sell anything or get rich quick schemes or anything like that. It's just a course that consolidates the information for you, and then you choose what you want to do with your TSP.
Yeah, Jamie, just like when I wrote my book because when I joined the military, there wasn't a manual. There wasn't a how-to guide for how to manage my military money. So that's why I wrote the Military Money Manual. And so same thing happened with my thrift savings plan account. I contributed, I think, $300, just under $300 to it my first year. And then I turned off my contributions for a couple of years because I didn't understand what I was investing in. So I prioritized my Roth IRA. That's one of the modules that we'll have in the course soon, is deciding between investing in a Roth IRA or investing in a Roth TSP. But we wanted to create a course that would help someone who just joined the military or who has been in the military for a while. And so that's why we set out to, like you said, consolidate all the good information out there and present it in a clear, concise, easy format. And in fact, one of the things that we're going to be adding pretty soon, and this is going to be included when you buy the course, you'll just get the an app, and the entire course will be available in an app for the iPhone or Android.
One of the things I love about it, immediately you'll have access, lifetime access to this helpful content. But we created this knowing what it's like to be a beginner and being overwhelmed with all the data out there and all the information. I also love that you can access it from a mobile browser now, app one day, very soon, but a mobile browser or your computer. But Spencer, you kind of hinted at this already, but who did we kind of design the course for? Who's the target audience?
So the target audience for this course is really anybody who's in the military, is in the blended retirement system. So that's going to be anybody who joined the military since 2018, or if they opted into the blended retirement system before 2018, you had the opportunity to opt in, which I did. I opted into the BRS before I left the military. But every military service member has access to a thrift savings plan. The people that we want to help out with this course are recently commissioned officers, recently enlisted personnel, and then the third group that I always think about is, that officer or maybe that NCO or that senior NCO who has been in for 5 years, 10 years, maybe even 15 years, and either they've ignored their TSP or they've just been too afraid to ask, right? Like there's that famous meme out of, I don't know what a TSP is, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. And so we really want to just simplify it and make it really accessible and take away the stigma, take away the fear from understanding what is a thrift savings plan, how can I use it to achieve my financial goals? And maybe you don't know what your financial goals are. And that's not something we cover in the course, but it's something that we cover in a lot of other podcast episodes and in my book, Financial Independence, Financial Freedom. And the TSP is one of the, if not the best investment vehicle that military service members have to get towards their financial goals, whether it's debt freedom, mortgage freedom, Coast 5, like we've talked about in a recent episode with Andy Hill. And I'm a big fan of the TSP, and I know you are too, Jamie. And so I'm really excited for this course.
Yeah, but even someone that just wants to have security and safety in their traditional retirement, it doesn't have to be about retiring early or anything like that. So if you think it's too late, you've been in the military too long, it's not too late. You can get started today. And one of the other things I love about how we set this up is we are donating one course to an E4 and below for every course purchased. So if you're an E4 and below and you'd like to take this course, email us at tsp@militarymoneymanual.com and we'll send back a one-time use code and you can take the course for free. So for those that are E5 and above or all the officers, every time you buy a course, just know that you're helping donate one to a young soldier, young sailor, young Marine, young airman in need or that wants more information and they don't have to spend any money to get all this goodness.
Yeah. And one of the most frequent things I hear about with online courses, right, is like, well, why would I pay for that information? Like it's freely available out there. And I'll be honest, it is. It is all the information out there. There's no secret sauce.
There's no Da Vinci Code here. We just discovered. It's just
exactly.
consolidated.
We've just consolidated all the good information that's out there. And we don't have an optimal investment strategy, right? We're not going to be teaching you how to day trade. We're not going to be teaching you, move out of the G fund and then move back into the S fund. That's not what this course is about. This course is about the fundamentals of what the thrift savings plan is, what it can do for you. And then we do cover some very basic investment strategies like a Bogleheads 3-fund portfolio or a total US stock market or just tracking the S&P 500, which is super easy. And we wanted to consolidate all that information and then create a couple, well-produced videos where it's just me and Jamie talking through and simplifying what can be some complex topics. But I think we've done a really good job of making it as easy as possible to digest in some really bite-sized videos. I don't think there's any videos in the course that are over 10 minutes long. So this is really something that you can knock out some of these modules whenever you have a few minutes of spare time in between different events throughout the day. And I'm really excited about this E4 and below donation program, Jamie, because this information is great and we don't want to make it inaccessible to someone who can't afford it. And if there's a soldier, if there's an airman, if there's a sailor or Marine out there who's in a pay grade E4 or below, please, please, please email us, TSP, Tango Sierra Papa at militarymoneymanual.com, and we will get you that promo code and we will get you the information in the course. This is not a money grab from our young enlisted personnel. We want to get you this information, but we also want to make sure that people value the information. And that's why we're charging for the product.
If you've been in for a while and you've already started investing in your TSP, another great use for this content is just breaking down sometimes complex topics, like you said, or scary topics for your troops or those that you work with. So it might not be for you, but the information can still be useful for those around you. And I want to summarize by the end of this course kind of what you're going to get out of, because a lot of times when you take a computer-based training, a CBT in the military, they have this objective side and we all just click right past that. But I think it's really important for us to highlight by the end of this course, you will what? So what are they going to be able to do by the end of the course, Spencer?
So a couple of the things we wanted people to be able to do is confidently select the TSP investing strategy that's right for you and your family. This is all about safety, security, and you having the confidence to put money into your TSP, select an investment plan that's right for you, which can be as simple as just a life cycle fund.
Yeah.
And that's something we talk about in the course, right? Is when are the life cycle funds appropriate? And for a lot of service members, the life cycle fund is going to be a very good option. But unless you understand why the life cycle fund is a good option, you might be hesitant to put your money in there. But we want to break down those psychological barriers and that understanding so that people are, when one of their troops says, hey, I have a 5% automatic contribution going to the TSP. It's going into a life cycle fund. Is that aggressive enough? I'm only 20 years old. Like, where should my money be going? We want you to have the confidence to be able to tell that young troop, yeah, it's okay. The life cycle funds are great. And here's why.
Yeah.
And if you take this course, we hope that you'll be invested in that knowledge and have that confidence that you can speak intelligently to your troops about it. So that's one thing we want to do is we want to give you the confidence to select an investment strategy that's right for you and your families. We want you to know the 5 core TSP funds and the life cycle funds and how they work. You're going to understand the difference between Roth and traditional tax investment strategy. And spoiler alert, we give away a lot of our content for free on the podcast, in my book, on my website. And usually Roth is going to be the best option. That should be no surprise to any of our listeners.
But we want you to know why.
Exactly. And you're going to know that you're on the right path in terms of your savings goal. It's going to provide safety, security, and financial stability for you and your family. And very importantly, especially for the leaders, the officers, the NCOs, the senior NCOs who are our listeners, you're going to be able to explain to your troops and your peers the advantages of TSP investing. So, Jamie, what if someone's coming into this and they're thinking, man, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I just joined the military. How does this whole TSP thing work?
That's exactly the type of person that we designed this course for. We even went as far as the practical tips of here's how to click in MyPay or in tsp.gov to set everything up. I log into my account, screen record it, I blur out my address, and then I show you here's where I put 20% of this and 50% of my bonuses or whatever. I go to tsp.gov, and actually Spencer did the tsp.gov, and he shows you exactly where you can see if your money's invested in a life cycle fund. You can change future contributions as well as past contributions. We are very practical, but also very transparent and helpful with the information that we provide so that it gives you the information you need to make a decision.
Another frequent question that we get is, if I'm a young service member, let's say I'm a E2 or E3, can I really grow my wealth starting out on an enlisted paycheck? And interestingly, we ran a spreadsheet recently where if you started saving 15% of your income from, you wouldn't even have to do it day one in the military, but you could wait until year 1, year 2, even year 3, and then you're getting that 5% match on top of it. So really 20% of your base pay is being contributed. At the end of a 20-year military career, your TSP balance could be over $400,000, assuming an 8.5% annual return. And some people might quibble with that 8.5% annual return, but the US stock market before inflation, actually, I think even after inflation, has done over 10% if you go back to the early 1900s. And by age 50, continuing that 8.5% return and assuming that you don't make any more contributions to your TSP, you're looking at over $1 million TSP. And by age 60, a traditional retirement age, your TSP could have grown to $2.2 million. When you put it in those terms, that a 15% contribution for a young enlisted member could grow to over $2 million in their lifetime, it can be pretty remarkable. And I don't think a lot of people really grasp the power of compounding interest and making small investments consistently over a long period of time and how much those investments can grow.
And what I love about that is it's investing during your career for this assumption, 20-year assumption, that which not everyone's going to do, and then stopping at the end of that 20-year career, no other contributions, and you're still going to end up with 2.2 million by the time you're 60. But don't worry if 15% is too intimidating for you. We'll talk about where to start, and it's going to start with a 5% automatic contribution that the military auto enrolls you to, and then we'll help give you strategies that you can consider to bump that up a little bit at a time, maybe 1% a year, 2% with a pay raise, or 50% of a bonus or incentive pay that comes, to where very quickly you should be able to get to 10, 15%. And this is not just for people that want to throw 50% of their income into retirement. It's for very traditional savers as well that are targeting the 10 to 15% savings rate. You can still build serious wealth at that kind of savings if that's the strategy that you choose.
One thing that we want to reassure you too is with the one-time enrollment fee, one-time membership fee for the course, you're going to have lifetime access. So as long as the course is up, you're going to have access to it. And one thing that Jamie and I are really excited about is right now, we've got what we like to call a minimum viable course. So we've got everything you need in there to understand the TSP and start investing confidently. But we get a lot of very niche and specific questions, and we're going to be addressing those. So we're going to be continuing to add modules to the course. And if you sign up for the course now, you're going to get access to all those modules as we release them. That's one thing that we're really excited about, to continue growing the product and making it better and better as the years go by, so that you can continue to confidently invest in the TSP and you can recommend it to your friends and troops because you know that it's a great product and it really explains everything that somebody needs to know to get started investing confidently in their TSP. So where can you buy it? Well, militarymoneymanual.com/TSP, Tango Sierra Papa. Again, militarymoneymanual.com/TSP. You can head over there. And there's a special deal to our podcast listeners. To the end of 2023, we're offering promo code podcast23. That's podcast23. And you can get $50 off the course if you head over to militarymoneymanual.com/TSP and use promo code podcast23. But again, this promo code is only good to the end of 2023. So if you're listening to this, don't delay. Once again, we're really excited that for every course that we sell, we're going to be donating one to an E4 and below. If you are an E4 and below, please send us an email, TSP Tango Sierra Papa at militarymoneymanual.com, and we'll get you that promo code so you can get a free copy of the course if you're an E4 and below. And if you purchase a course, thank you so much for supporting our young enlisted service members.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Military Money Manual podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. This helps others find the show, and we really appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
The views and opinions presented here are those of the speakers and do not necessarily represent the views of the DoD or its components. Reference to any commercial products or services does not constitute DoD endorsement of those products or services.